Hey, this is Sky. Welcome to my YouTube channel. So it's Sunday morning, bright and early. I did not want to wake up this morning. Mind, body, and soul, daily discipline. This is how we get through. I want to get into the Warriors group. Every Sunday I do a little Warriors group for my hardcore heads out there who want to have a little bit extra study. Some of you motherfuckers need the day off, and maybe you need to go back in and go to sleep, cuddle up. Some of us, we need this. So let's just get into it. Now, I will warn you, I got 6 points. I'm going to try to get through these as quick as I can. The first 2 points have a little touch of religion. It is Sunday, so let's get into it. The first one is, if you treat it like it's his, then you can have it. Now, I have his in quotations, and you can replace that word with God. If you treat it like it's God, then you can have it. This is a little bit confusing on its face, so we have to dissect it. There's a common belief in Judeo-Christian faiths, possibly in the Muslim faith also. I just don't know a lot about Islam. There's a common belief that you give your life to God. And when you give your life to God, it's willing. You're not his slave. You willingly give your life to God, and it's not that you give up your free will. God wants you to have free will. But for me, I can only talk about for myself. I got to a point where I didn't feel like I was handling things well. I was at my breaking point. I was at my lowest. The world had beaten me down. Everybody had beaten me down. And I was at my weakest and my lowest points, and I just couldn't handle shit anymore. I was lost. The most lost sheep that has ever been. It's what I felt like. And I've sat many times, whether it be in a jail cell or on the street corner, just thinking, well, I'm just not good at this shit, man. I can't do this. And at those moments is when I have reached out and said, you know what? Why don't you take the wheel? I'm just going to drive this fucking vehicle into a brick wall. Maybe you could do a little bit better. Maybe you're a better driver than me. I don't know what else to do. So you give yourself to a higher power in your states of weakness. But that's how it's supposed to be, because in our states of strength, we often feel like we are the God. We forget the hierarchy of the cosmic realm, and we feel like that we are at the top of the pyramid, at the top of everything. We rule everything. It's a common fallacy and mistake, because we see the world through our eyes. We live inside our heads, and we just think that this is all that's going on here. But if you treat your life like it's God's life, not that it's just your own, you're the owner, but that you're handling borrowed property, then you treat it with a little bit more care. I'm just borrowing this, so I got to make sure I don't fuck it up. I'm gonna borrow your car, so I'm gonna be extra careful with your car. If you treat it like it's his, then you can have it. So the second part of it is, you can have it. If you join this relationship with the cosmic energy that exists out there, if you don't want to call it God, we don't have to call it God. And you give yourself to that cosmic energy and say, guide me. That cosmic energy rewards you, not just with guidance and with gifts, but with self-mastery. You've earned the right to be the master when you are willing to be the follower. A good leader is also a good follower. A good boss is the best employee. So let's move on to the next one. I can stay with that one for a little while and just dissect it, but you can get your gears turning on these, and you can take some of these and just run with it for the day. The next one is also a little bit religious, and then we'll just get on to some normal stuff. Faith is to go deeper into something that isn't going good. It's actually kind of hardcore if you think about it. Faith is to go deeper into something that isn't going good. So when things aren't going good in our lives, we typically want to run away from them and repel from that shit. We look at that as obstacles, and obstacles are meant to be gone around, to avoid, not to go through. But when something isn't going good in your life, instead of running from it, if you go directly towards it, that can be incredibly scary. Most people don't do that, and the only way that I've been able to really go towards the darkest, deepest waters is to have faith, because I don't know what's down there. If anything is going to eat me, going to take me under, going to pull me down to the deeps, and I'll suffocate and die, become overwhelmed with life, with evil. But with faith in that higher power, faith like the kid has when the kid is playing out in the backyard with his friends, the little boy's playing with his little buddies, and they're just in their world of pretend and magic and just having a blast out there running around and screaming. They know way back in the back of their mind, they're not afraid of wolves and bears and danger and predators and life. They're not afraid of life. They're lost in the game because they know that daddy is watching. Someone's got my back. That's faith. As we get older, we don't have that, but you can have that if you want. You know, your greatness is in those deep waters, those scary waters, and that's why we have to go towards it. You have to challenge yourself in life in order to realize your greatness, to realize your strength. You have to go through suffering and pain to realize how much pain and suffering you can handle. Because on the other side of that pain and suffering is the rewards, is your success. Let's go on to the next one. Believe in yourself. That's a simple one. Believe in yourself. You know, if you try harder, you'll go further. You have to believe in yourself. People don't, they give up too easy. You have to believe in yourself. There's a rule. You have about 40% more strength in you when you feel gassed out. So when you're at the gym, and you're on that last rep, that's all mental. Many of you have chosen your rep range. I'm going to do 12 reps, 8 reps, 6 reps, whatever it is, depending on how much weight you got on there. So I'm going to do, I'm going to do 10 reps. I'm often going to 10 reps. When you got a certain amount of weight on there and you mentally tell yourself, this is a lot of weight, I typically don't like to count the weight. A lot of times when I count the weight that's on there and I say this is 200 pounds or whatever, then I've already decided, okay, that's heavy. That's a lot of weight. So that's one barrier. And then I have the 10 rep range. I've already decided I'm only going to 10. By the time I get to 8 on that heavy weight that I've acknowledged, I'm already starting to feel gassed out. It's all mental. You have more strength in you. It's all mental. Your adrenaline will push you further. So working out to failure is often recommended by trainers instead of doing a rep range. And working out to failure is just keep going until you're fully gassed out. And when you're working out to failure, you're not focused on 10 or 8 or 6 reps. You're just focused on each rep and pushing it with every bit that you have. Let's go to the next one. A champion doesn't focus on their breaking point. They focus on winning. Now this kind of goes with that last one. A champion doesn't focus on their breaking point. They focus on the winning. So we may know about our breaking point. I kind of have an idea of how much weight I can push in the gym, how much responsibility I can handle in the real world. And I typically don't push myself further than that because I know that that's all I can handle. And if I put too much on my plate, I'm going to break, and I'm focused on that breaking point. And as I get closer to it, my anxiety builds and I start to pull back, start to ease off. But a champion doesn't think that way. A champion isn't focused on when they're going to snap, on when that rubber band is going to snap. All they're focused on is winning, is the destination, is their goal. I'm going to get to my goal if it kills me. That's how Michael Jordan could play in a championship game with the flu, where most of us wouldn't be able to do that. He's not focused on that breaking point. The flu's not going to break him. All he's focused on is winning. Let's go to the next one. This is going to be hard for some of you to hear. You can't force others to love you. And I'll say that one again. You can't force others to love you. Get that through your fucking head. You can't force her to love you. You can't make people love you. And conversely, you little weak motherfuckers who have been hurt in relationships, we've all been hurt in relationships, but realize your role. People, I just heard this yesterday, someone told me this, that it was this chick complaining, and she said, he made me love him, and then he wasn't man enough to love me when we got into the relationship. And I was just like, he didn't make you love him. Nobody has that power. What were you dating, Harry Potter? Some kind of wizard who was just like, what? With his wand? Nobody can make you. Look, I used to be a hustler and a con man. I'm a pretty manipulative son of a bitch. I can be. I can be straight up evil. I can talk you out of everything you have. I could never force someone to love me. I can't trick you into loving me. Love is natural, love is raw, love is honest, love is pure. Love is truth. Love sees through bullshit. If you got tricked into love, it wasn't love, it was just lust, it was just a fantasy, it was a delusion, it wasn't real. You can't be tricked into love, it can't be forced on you. You develop it, it grows, it's a fucking flower that grows. You water it, you cultivate it. Love is from within, it's not from without. It's not an external force. You can't force others to love you. I can't go around forcing you to respect me. I can't go around forcing you to treat me in a certain way. I can't go around forcing the world to accept me, to acknowledge me. Force the world to create a spot for me to fit in. Force the world to embrace me and to hug me and to say it's going to be okay. All that stuff comes from yourself. Let's go to the next one. This is the last one. Little things are often the most important, right? The little things in life are often the most important. That little handhold just at the right time when she noticed that maybe you needed it. That was important, that was meaningful. You never forget that shit, thank you. Little tiny things when you're running a business in your daily operations are the most important things. Little things when you go to the gym, when you're working out are important. Your form is important. How you're looking, where you're holding your head. Are you looking down as you're pushing that weight? You should raise your head, look straight out. Little things are important. In fact, the way to success is to do the little things with excellence. Do every single little tiny thing with excellence. Incrementally, we work towards success. You don't want to skip over the little stuff. A lot of people skip over little stuff, handle the big shit, the stuff that stands out, and then the little things, that'll fall into place. The little things don't fall into place. You got it backwards. You do the little things with excellence. And when you get to the big things, they fall into place. Because there's a foundation that you've built around it. There's a lot more little things than big things. A lot of times when we have poor lifestyle management, our lives just kind of fall apart. It's because we weren't handling the little things. Pay attention to those little things today. See how much better of a day you have. I could go on with any of these. I could make whole videos about any of these topics. I really just want to introduce some of these things, plant seeds in your head for the day. Have a good Sunday, guys.